Welcome to C4D. I'm your gracious host, Solo. And today, on the eve of July 1st, Bitcoin is remaining steady at $34,751.98. ETH is at $2,226.22. So we're still in this consolidation period where we're seeing a lot of sideways action. You know, a lot of people are buying, then selling off. Dogecoin is at 23.9. Theta mainnet recently got released. However, Theta's price went down. I don't panic. I mean, you know my motto: buy at the dip, buy at the dip. Not financial advice. Not financial advice. Shiba made it to point. How many zeros? 6 zeros, 9. Wait, how many zeros? Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6009. It was at 08. Big anticipation for SHIB, of course, with the Shiba swap coming soon. And of course, it's going to be listed on Coinbase any day. Don't be shocked if it's listed in the next week or week and a half at the latest, okay? Now let's get into the main news. Popular author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, is talking about that there is a reckoning coming. Let's take a listen and see what he's got to say here.
Welcome back to Yahoo Finance Live. We've been hearing a chorus of market warnings growing louder, at least in number, from some big name investors, including Leon Cooperman, Stanley Druckenmiller, Michael Burry with the Big Short fame, of course, as well as famed author.
Yeah, and you know, Michael Burry, for those who have seen The Big Short, he's the guy that comes off a little bit as awkward, but he predicted the '08 crash, and he's also predicting a water shortage. And they're talking about a drought coming. And I've been telling you guys since last year, get some water, get water, get water. I've been getting more water than I've been getting crypto, guys. No cap, real rap, all facts. So please, if you're watching this, get some water. This Michael Burry guy, man, I don't know, bro. He's in tune. You know what I'm saying? He can tell stuff that happens 10 years before it happens. He's definitely a trendsetter.
Of Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, now added in the mix as well there. I want to read a tweet that had a lot of people talking out recently. He said, quote, "The best time to prepare for a crash is before the crash. The biggest crash in world history is coming. The good news is the best time to get rich is during a crash. Bad news is the next crash will be a long one. Get more gold, silver, and Bitcoin while you can."
Right. And so this is why last year, at this time last year, I wasn't really focused on crypto, guys. I was in a relationship with a pog. And so while everything was on the low that you could scoop up, I mean, yeah, now you can scoop up some coins too, but not as low as it was last year. But last year, I started to notice companies were making record profits. Walmart, Amazon, record profits. OnlyFans, of course, came out of nowhere, record profits. Obviously, right now, OnlyFans is trying to be more mainstream friendly by getting away from more of their adult content so that way they can get more mass adoption. Get it? Mass adoption. But yeah, I mean, it may sound weird, but the best time to get rich for some people who can see it coming is when a crash is about to happen. That's how that Michael Burry guy got rich. He was able to short out the '08 crash and he made 9 figures. Facts.
And then I love the take care at the end. And joining us here for more on that is the author himself, Robert Kiyosaki, joins us. Robert, good to be chatting with you again, man. I like to take care there because it's optimistic, right? People do get rich off crashes. Some people who timed it after the sell-off, or last year, were able to profit in the recovery here. But talk to me about what you're watching and what has you so concerned about what could spark the biggest crash in world history.
Well, as my friend here, Jim Records, we're the old guys here, and we've experienced enough crashes in our lifetime. But what Jim says is quite accurate, is the next crash is basically an avalanche waiting for the last snowflake. And since 2008, all they've been doing is piling more debt onto the mountainside, and they're just waiting for the next snowflake to hit.
Right. And I believe, and by the way, this is not me trying to fearmonger, but if you pay attention, to the stock market, wouldn't shock me if it crashed in September or October. Crypto, there's going to be a lot of money coming into crypto. The Forex market might die. That's just my opinion. Don't at me. Unless you're sending me Cash App at SoloTV84. Thank you.
Hit. And it's going to be the biggest in world history. I thought COVID was it, but they just added more debt onto the Avalanche site.
Yeah, and continue to print. And we've seen kind of concerns about how we get out of that debt pile. And it sounds like you're leaning into Bitcoin and gold. I mean, we've heard a lot of traditional investors leaning into Bitcoin as a hedge. Kevin O'Leary as well noted he's got, 3% in his portfolio. How large of a portfolio position is it for you, though? And how large should it be for maybe the average investor watching this to protect themselves?
Well, let me give you the macro because everybody goes micro on me. This here is a $10 million Zimbabwe dollar. This is the US dollar. You know, I mean, if you're waiting for the US dollar to become 10 million, that's not that intelligent, but that's what they teach you to do in school, is go to school and get a job and work for this garbage. And this here is $2,000 worth of gold in one concentrated form.
You see that? You see what he's doing? He's telling you that the dollar is basically worthless because of the inflation that's happening and the fact that the buying power, the spending power of the dollar has declined significantly since the 1930s. Even more so in the last 30 years. He's giving y'all game, y'all. Facts.
And this here is a US silver eagle. That's about $25. So I just compared this garbage here to what gold, silver, and Bitcoin is. So in one of my tweets, I said I'm waiting for Bitcoin to hit 24. I entered at 9, and I'm still in the money, and I'm very happy it's coming down so I can buy more. Simple.
Yeah, I guess the question is,
I believe that if Bitcoin makes it to 41, the bull market is back on. As you guys know, I'm more bullish than ever. However, if Bitcoin goes down to 25 or 24, then we may be looking at an extended bear market. And then the bull market will resume either later this year, in my opinion, or sometime next year. And next year's bull market then will be pandemonium, okay? I think that the bull market this year is going to be crazy. But I think that next year is going to be even crazier because you're going to see, and this is my opinion, probably Q1, you're going to see a bear market. And if you're smart, diamond hands, that's where you're going to accumulate. And then Q2, it's just going to be pandemonium. It's going to be unlike anything you've ever seen. Anything you've ever seen. It's going to make 2017 look like a drop in a bucket.
Is those people who maybe didn't get in, right? Or maybe got in at the all-time highs we saw at 62,000. Those people might be a little bit more worried about what could happen here. The people like myself and you who have been in this for a bit might be fine because they've already seen it proven out. But I mean, when you look at it, how do you see it going? If it does dip down further, I know you're going to be a buyer, but what do you see as kind of those catalysts that does take the price of Bitcoin higher now?
Well, again, I said this is the problem. It's called the Zimbabwe dollar or the US dollar. That's the real problem. So I just watched that sideshow with this guy, Powell, Yellen, what's his name, Biden, and those characters. And
oh, boy. Robert Kiyosaki know what's up. He know what's up.
I just gauge off of them. Whatever they're doing, I'm not going to do. But I've been that way most of my life. Some people call me a contrarian. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a capitalist. I don't own any stocks. I don't like stocks, but I don't have to own stocks because I'm an entrepreneur. I build my own assets. Like the Rich Dad Company is an international brand, and a brand is what Buffett invests in, like McDonald's or Gillette or Coca-Cola. So to the young people, I say, don't be an employee. Why don't you become an entrepreneur like Gabe?
Amen. And this is where I see crypto doing that, right? Cryptocurrency is going to give a lot of you young people, millennials, Generation Z, that financial freedom to be an entrepreneur, because it's going to allow you to have more currency and then do what you really want to do instead of working 9 to 5 for the man and making somebody else rich.
Gates or Musk or those characters, and then you get really rich. But if you can just sit there and play the stock market, you may as well play Bitcoin too.
Yeah, I'd be curious to get your take too. I mean, I guess we've seen, obviously in personal finance, buying a house is always a big question, and I wonder what that would look like too if you're expecting maybe the value of the dollar to go down or inflation to take off. Obviously, if you take out a mortgage and you take on big debt, it's easier to pay back if inflation does surge. So how are you giving advice maybe on that front when it comes to real estate and what you're seeing play out there?
And one thing I want to say is, and I didn't realize this until I started to pay attention to more of the financial sector, right? Like stocks and obviously crypto and get people like Robert Kiyosaki. I mean, I've known who he is for years, but I'm talking about you pay attention to it every day, right? A lot of people don't realize, but some of these rich people, media people, they tell you when something is coming down the pike before it comes down. And I think the rich people, they do that to warn people, but they know he can say this because a lot of people are just going to be like, whatever. I was just going on my Instagram and it's people just, 4th of July is coming up, obviously. But everybody's going through their life like, do. We don't have to wear masks, do. Back to normal, back to woo. No, it's going to get worse. And I'm not saying that to be a fearmonger, but if you look at the numbers, right? And like Robert Kiyosaki says, the debt keeps piling up. All these stimulus checks, all this money's being printed, right? Over 33% of money that was printed in 2020, right? But then your economy has basically been stagnant for most of the part. But you're printing up these trillions of dollars. What do you think is going to happen? It's crazy that everybody's focused on Big Booty Keisha and a woman with the wig that, I don't know. But the point is, you guys need to be focused on this. Because when this shit hits the fan, shit is going to go crazy. Excuse my language, just being honest.
Well, it's not real estate, it's debt. You see, I mean, this guy, what's his name? I forgot his name now. Good friend of mine. But I'm having the Biden effect. He says live debt free. Are you crazy? In 1971, the US dollar became debt. So every time I have a chance to buy real estate, I borrow as much money as I can. So I think I'm about 1.2 billion in debt because debt became money in 1971. But what these other goofballs are saying is that get out of debt, live debt free. Well, that's a choice you make. So I just don't do that. I own a lot of real estate. And every month I make millions of dollars a month in cash.
And that's a good investment. That's something else to look at when when you cashing out on crypto. Look into what other assets do you want to invest in, or what other markets do you want to invest in. Real estate is definitely a great market. Not financial advice, but look at it.
Flow, and I pay no taxes because the tax system incentivizes people who use debt. So everything they teach you in business school is a bunch of BS. I mean, the real guys like Trump, I know Trump's not popular, but he's a good friend of mine, and we're in debt up to our eyeballs and we pay no taxes. So that's what we teach, and it's different than everybody else. I'm not saying having a stock portfolio is right or wrong, but there's other alternatives you can do. Just open your eyes and see how the rich are really getting richer.
Yeah, especially if you believe in kind of the inflation picture that you see coming here, or the big market crash coming as you see it here. But there is one point that I guess maybe people have been looking at too, and the idea of a central bank digital currency potentially coming out and what that might mean for cryptocurrencies out there. And of course, wouldn't necessarily solve the problem of governments and the way that they interact with their own currencies there. So how do you see maybe a bad digital dollar coming out? Chinese obviously working on their own central bank digital currency right now. How do you see that impacting the crypto market?
Well, I think that's the most important question you could ask today. Everybody should be asking. It's just not if, it's just when does the yuan become crypto, when the dollar become crypto, or the Fed coin? And then what will that do to the banking system? I hear all kinds of wild predictions I'm not saying they're right or wrong, but I just keep an open mind. The same with Bitcoin. When it was 20,000 and FOMO, everybody was afraid of missing out. I just waited till it crashed. So as soon as the Fed coin comes out, I'm going to wait for the next crash. And the next crash may be all those banks that you guys are advertising as handing out dividend checks right now. One prediction I hear is that when the Fed coin comes out, you don't need Wells Fargo, you don't need Bank of America, you don't need Goldman Sachs anymore, because we'll be completely communist. We'll be 100% central banking, central planned economy. So that's what I'm watching right now. And I don't know which way it's going to go, but I think we'd all better pay attention to what happens when the Fed coin comes out.
And the Fed has made no secret the Fed coin will come out. Now, there is speculation, and I don't want to delve into this, but that, they might try to co-opt XRP or USDC. Once again, those are rumors. Let me emphasize that's merely speculation. However, the Fed on their website has basically out in the open said that by next September or November of 2022, there'll be a brand new financial system overnight. Okay, let that sink in. Overnight. All right. A lot of people have talked about this. Shout out to Quincy Jones. Let me give him props. I'll be linking his YouTube channel at the bottom. Very, very knowledgeable brother when it comes to technology and blockchain. I'll be hoping to get him on for an interview, hopefully very soon.
Yeah, we've seen, just to wrap up here, we've seen some bold calls before, world's largest crash in history. I'm going to classify that as pretty bold. But if you can hone in on maybe what it looks like, the timeline of it, how quickly you're expecting something like that to happen, if you are expecting runaway inflation or the crash, how big are we talking to be the world's biggest, and how quickly?
Well, that's another speculation. Is it inflation or deflation? I think it's deflation, because you just can't keep printing money when it crashes. But I'm prepared to go either way. The thing I say to young people, because Yahoo is for young people, I would say be an entrepreneur, be a capitalist, and build a business that does well in crashes, booms, or busts. So like Rich Dad does extremely well in booms, but it does very well in busts. That's what Nassim Taleb calls anti-fragile. The more it crashes, the stronger the company gets. So if I could encourage young people, don't go to school, become an employee, follow my Rich Dad's advice and become an entrepreneur, a capitalist, and build businesses that create jobs. This Biden and Kamala, what the hell are they doing?
Right. And by the way, guys, I am not a Republican. I am not a Democrat. I believe that, you're dealing with a bird. They're both on feathers on the same bird, just on opposite ends, right? But but the current president clearly is not very crypto friendly or very market friendly, right? That's not a secret. And I'll leave it at that. Trump wasn't perfect, and Trump didn't care about crypto, but at least with Trump, you could make money. And if you were making money, Trump is all about letting people make money. He's all about that. So we need Trump back in office sooner than later.
Paying people not to work. The only way money is created is via production, and we're paying people billions not to work.
Trillions, actually, sir. Trillions. And you guys see what's going on. When I saw one of my friends make more money than me as a waitress on unemployment, what was she doing with the money? She was going to Atlanta. She was going to Dallas. She was going to Cali. She was making so much money that she was traveling all through its pandemic. Like, facts, And now imagine you're making more money while you're not working, and you get to travel. You get to do whatever you want with the money. Why would you want to go back to work when you make less? Now, obviously, for a lot of, states, the unemployment has ran out. Some of the states have continued it. But really, look at it from a logical perspective. I got paid more to sit at home or be unemployed than I got paid while I was working. Why the heck would you go back? It makes sense. Now, me personally, I love working, but I rather work for myself. Facts.
Oh my God, that's communism.
Yeah, we had seen that earlier in the pandemic when a lot of people weren't able to go to work due to the health concerns that they had. We've seen those being lifted now, but it is interesting to see it all play out. And obviously, if what you predict might play out, it would be terrible for a lot of people caught on the other side. But important reminders to talk about here when we're looking at crypto. Appreciate you coming on here, the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki.
Okay, and that's Robert Kiyosaki, the author of Rich Dad Poor Dad. I highly recommend that you guys check it out. Once again, I think that July is a critical stage right now for the market. If we go back on a bull run, as I mentioned, 41,000 for me is the indicator. If we're in a bear run, then when we go below 25K is an indicator. Regardless, you should be accumulating. And remember, if you're a noob, you do not have to necessarily go get Bitcoin and Ethereum, not financial advice, but you can always get you a little bit of ADA, get you a little bit of Matic, some of these lower cap coins where your entry will get you more. VeChain, and of course, XLM, XRP. This is not financial advice. Do your own research, of course. Read the white papers. Look at the tokenomics, right? And also, if you want to learn about crypto, you can, get my cryptocurrency course, the Trendsetter's cryptocurrency course. In this course, I include the history of cryptocurrency, how to research a coin, how to look up the numbers, the tokenomics, the market cap, how to see if a coin has potential, the team. Also, looking at meme coins as well, I've included that. The different types of wallet, how to store your crypto safely, how to, protect yourself from, people trying to hack you and things like that, okay? I teach all of that, including interviews with my millionaire mentor and whatnot. Guys, I'm very excited. I'm working on having some big collaborations coming on my channel, crypto-wise. And I'm just excited. I'm just trying to, lock them down, and you will be seeing a lot more crypto from me. Like I said, I think that July, in my opinion, is a very critical month. If we make that 41K in Bitcoin, right, then I think the bull run is back on. And if you have diamond hands, meaning that when everything started to crash, when Bitcoin crashed from 64,000 all the way down to 29, you didn't sell, you healed, and then you accumulated, you're in a good spot, okay? So with that being said, it's your boy, Ed. I'm out. Peace.
Dom the Marco.